watch
How?
this?
How?
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 Ew,
How do you watch this?
Dude, I'm gonna pee my pants.
Hi, you're listening to How Do You Watch This, a movie review podcast where each week we recommend a movie in the genre we love, but they don't. My name is Megan, and I love romance.
My name is Demi, and I love horror.
And this week I had Demi watch the movie The Lake House.
Mm.
Ooh.
And
Oh.
did you guess the thread?
Bro, what is wrong with me? I literally spent 0 seconds thinking about it. What?
Well,
What?
Here you go.
Okay, all right.
All right,
Hold
guess
on, let me
it.
think. What was our movie from last week?
The Uninvited.
Okay. Is it Lake House?
It's not.
Okay. Is it House on a Lake?
No, it's not in the movie. That was
Not
my
in the
hint to you
movie.
last.
No,
time. It's
that's
nothing
right.
In the movie.
It's nothing that's in the movie physically. Like, so it's somebody on the movie. Like, it's a person who is a direct. It is a produced. It is an actor. It is
No. When you first read the description of the lake house, there's something in that description where I was like, that's the thread. I'm making that the thread.
Okay. Time travel letters. Lake House. Oh, it's a remake.
Yes. Of a
Of a
specifically South Korean.
South Korean film. Wow, dude, that was good.
Thank you. I saw that it was a remake. I was like, oh, yeah.
Dude, I read like 20 times that it was a remake, and not once did my brain go, interesting.
I thought you might get it, but
No, not
figured-
me. Dude, me who forgot last week that you were the one who came up with the thread, and I had already recommended a movie. I am beside myself. I think that there's like one brain cell floating around up here anymore.
That's all right.
Oof.
But yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, that's very exciting. And so I thought A Tale of Two Sisters, Uninvited. So that's more the reason why I gave you the Uninvited over Tale of Two Sisters, because it is a remake. But
Okay.
yes, that is the thread.
Wow, amazing.
I know, I thought it was a pretty cool one.
I am honestly, I'm very impressed by you. You
Thank you.
did a good one. You did a good one. And maybe for this next week, I'll actually figure out what the thread is because I'm supposed to pick it. So maybe I'll actually
It won't just be the same.
do it
actor,
right.
yes.
I'm gonna show up and be like, yo, Demi, what was the thread you picked?
I'm gonna pick something that's not just same actor, same.
It's so easy to do same actor.
It really is.
anymore.
I know.
I never thought it was gonna be easy to do same actor. I was like, oh, there's gonna be like
I
one.
know.
But no, all these actors are in.
I know. And so if it's too good, it's like, oh, I have to.
Right.
So
No.
it's fine.
Anyway.
Anyway, The Lake House. It is a 2006 movie. It is rated PG, so no steamy scenes with Keanu and Sandra. Unfortunately, length is an hour, 38 minutes.
Yeah.
Genre is drama. Director is Alejandro Agresti. And yeah, so that is those are all the details of the movie.
Okay.
And jumping into my official review.
Amazing. Cannot wait. I feel like this is what's so hard about watching these movies as an adult when you watch it for the first time and only time back
Right.
when it first came out, because I'm seeing it through new eyes. And part of me is like, do I need to start watching these movies before I recommend them? And the other part of me is like, nah.
Nah. I think we'll have the same adult thoughts on
Yeah.
one scene, but I thought it was fun. So I will say that. So The Lake House, so it's a remake of the movie El Mar, or A Love Story. Because I'm a professional, I actually watched that one as well to
Shut
compare.
up.
Yes.
You
I really
didn't.
Yes, I was like, I have to watch the original. Like,
Bro, you're amazing.
So-
I didn't even see the original.
no,
Was it better?
Yes, it was. Of course.
Really?
Yes, it
Okay,
was.
well, I'll have to watch it.
I definitely recommend watching it. But yeah, so I decided to watch it, and I watched Lake House first because I'm like, if the original's better, it's gonna completely
Ruin
skew
it,
my
yeah.
So I watched Lake House first, and then I watched Omar. which means the sea in Italian.
Yeah.
I looked that up. And you can watch that on Viki, which is an Asian streaming service.
Oh.
So you get to watch all your K-dramas and movies on there
Yeah.
for free. So,
Okay.
Brad,
Well, I'm definitely gonna have to watch it. Did you watch it subbed or dubbed?
subbed. I don't know
Okay.
if they had dubbed, and I would never.
No, dubbed is the worst. It's,
It would ruin
horrible to
everything.
watch.
Also, features, the main guy is from Squid Games.
No way.
Yes, I was watching, I was like,
my
why
God.
does that man look familiar? And yeah, he's so cute. He's
Oh.
so cute. I really enjoyed it, and I think you would really like it.
Okay. I'll put it on my list.
Cool.
More movies for my list. That's what you
Yeah.
make me watch for next week. I had a
Yeah.
little late. I wait for the plot twist to become horror, and the whole thing is just
So-
nice.
The horror is that there is a 2-year
Yeah.
long distance.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Horrible. Why would anyone want to deal
No.
with that?
No one would.
So anyway, back to the lake house what we're
Mhm.
talking about here.
Yes.
So it starts in 2006. Hopefully I do a good job of keeping everything straight because it gets a little
Yeah,
tricky.
time travel's messy, but also the film is done in a little bit of a way where they blur the lines quite a bit.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So 2006, Kate Forster, played by Sandra Bullock, is leaving a lake house that she's been renting near Chicago to start a job at a downtown hospital. This lake house, I was like,
dude.
I'm feeling 13 Ghosts right now.
Yes.
It's all glass. It's all glass.
It's all glass. And they built this house for the movie. So it's not like they were like,
Oh,
oh, here's
okay.
a set.
Yeah.
They found a house. I cannot imagine you have to be super hidden to live in a house like that. There's not an inch of privacy.
No.
There is no freaking way, dude. It's just so open.
Imagine you're just sitting there eating dinner and you're just looking out into woods. Dark woods. No. It's just a little too much for me. It's too creepy. It's cool. It's a cool house.
It's super cool. There's a tree growing in the middle, which is problematic because there's going to come a point where that tree outgrows the house.
Yeah. Cool in theory, but
In theory, at one point he opens the roof and the tree like gets sunlight that way or whatever.
Yeah.
But also, so are you constantly trimming the things down? I don't know. Like just logistically, it's a nightmare.
yes.
Also, I don't know. I just feel like, that tree starts to die and you have to take it down. And then what? You take the house?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It
We're taking
doesn't.
too much.
Yeah.
Either way, it's not the house is not for me. It looks
No.
cool, but I would never live in a house like that.
No. So they did it really quick before we
Yeah.
move on. I'll just give you the fun facts about the house.
Yeah.
Since we have it. Number 1, it was built with 35 tons of steel and a
Mm.
crew of nearly 100. That's
Wow.
according to hookedonhouses.net. And because the actual house did not exist, it was dismantled. So you can see it actually using Google Earth if you go to the date April 29th, 2005,
No
and you
way.
type in the coordinates, which are 41.7142, comma, negative 87.8901. And
Oh
I
my
did not,
God.
I didn't double check. So it could be a Rickroll. I don't know, but
That's pretty cool though. That was captured and you can
you can see
look
it.
at it. I didn't realize you could pick different years in Google Maps.
Yeah, me neither. That was new for me too.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I
good
had
to
no
know.
idea.
Or you know.
Mhm.
Anyway, Sandra Bullock, or Kate in the movie, she's leaving. She leaves a note in the mailbox asking the next tenant to forward her any mail and explaining that the painted-on paw prints on the front walkway were there when she moved in, as well as a box in the attic. Then we meet Alex Weiler, who's an architect, played by Keanu Reeves. And it is 2 years earlier. So as you're watching the movie, you're not really sure. You think he's the next tenant. But you find out that it's 2 years earlier, and he moves into the same lake house and finds Kate's letter. And it confuses him since he doesn't see any paw prints.
Mhm.
Huh, weird. So he's restoring the house, and there's a dog who shows up one day and runs through paint and leaves paw prints. You're like, oh my God,
What?
paw prints. So he writes back using the mailbox, asking how she knew about the paw prints since nobody had lived in the house prior to him. So then Kate is thinking that Alex is tripping and tells him it's 2006. And then Alex is like, okay, you're tripping because it's not 2006. And then they just kind of accept that they're living in two different years.
Pretty quickly, they're like, yeah, I guess we have a time traveling mailbox, I guess.
It's it's just a normal looking mailbox.
Yeah.
I will say in the original, the mailbox looks like some sort of fantastical, like they could transport things. But this one is just a metal.
Yeah.
The red.
I love the idea of a mailman going and picking up mail, and it's just every year.
Yeah.
What gets differentiated? How do they know?
Yeah, I guess they wouldn't have a mailman come over.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's definitely, there's some brokenness to the time travel theory, but
yeah, I mean, we can talk about some of the plot holes, but yeah, it's fine.
You know, whatever. Just it's a story.
Yeah. So while having lunch on Valentine's Day in 2006, this is Kate's timeline. Kate witnesses a man get hit by a bus and tries but fails to save him. She's upset about the situation, so she takes a break and returns to the lake house and ends up finding Alex's next letter. From this point on, they regularly trade letters, using the mailbox's red flag to determine when the other had received their message. So it will go up and down, and it'll magically go down. So she'll see that and know that he got her letter. So that's how they know. Eventually, so they realize they're living 2 years apart, obviously, and they can communicate through the mailbox almost instantly. Don't know why, it is what it is. They start to talk about themselves and slowly grow feelings for each other. Alex one day provides her a map with landmarks circled so that they go on a walk together, and he leaves her a cute message with graffiti. He graffitied a message.
Yeah, he just did a little vandalism.
It was cute.
Yeah, it was cute.
So, you do what you do for love.
But I'm not mad about it.
I thought it was cute. So then Kate then asked Alex if she could find a copy of Jane Austen's Persuasion that she left at a train station 2 years ago on that day. And this was a gift from her father, and she's just been upset that she lost it. So she asked Alex to do that. He goes to the station. He ends up seeing Kate for the first time. She's smooching on her then boyfriend, Morgan. And she rushes onto the train before he can get the book back to her. But he reaches out to future Kate and promises that he'd find a way to get it back to her. So in 2006, Kate meets up with Morgan, her ex-boyfriend, since he's in town. And they briefly discuss their failed relationship. And he brings up how she was making out with someone at her party when they were together. She's like, it was a kiss. I'm like, oh, right.
What? That was everything with Morgan was my biggest downfall to this movie, because she clearly showed that she was really horrible to him in the relationship.
Yeah. He is a shitty dude, but it's like,
he didn't do anything. He didn't cheat on her or whatever. But
no,
she cheated on him.
It was just not a good combo.
No, they weren't good together.
Fit. Yeah.
And it just says it very clearly shouldn't be together. And she just kept kind of stringing him along because she was, nothing.
Yeah, it's just like, he's here, right, settling. And it was just very weird. I think that's the worst part of this movie. Yeah. That whole situation.
The whole thing and like the ending, which we'll talk about. I just
don't get it. I don't understand. So, yeah. Anyway, he brings that up, and back to 2004, Alex ends up running into Morgan after his dog ran off. And the dog kind of has some weird mystical abilities to run to people and kind of make these connections. So I was like, okay, dog's magical too. Yeah. Like, making things happen. So Alex introduces himself to Morgan, and Morgan is like, oh, you should come to Kate's birthday party tonight.
Yeah, like, wild. Freaking Morgan. Like, what?
It's a stranger.
This dude helped him carry some boxes into his house. Like,
I just imagine if one of our husbands was just like, oh, I invited some rando.
Dude, I would be like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
It was pretty dumb. But of course, Alex is like, what? Of course I'll come.
Right.
To see Kate.
Yeah, exactly.
Kate shows up. It's like a surprise party. She's obviously upset about the idea of a surprise party, and she's trying to look happy. But she's
probably just pulled a full day of residency and is ready to go to bed.
It's just not for her. Whatever Morgan likes to do, it just seems like she doesn't like. And it's just, they just clash. They just really clash. So eventually, Kate and Alex end up outside of the party. He awkwardly brings up the book Persuasion.
Right.
and
Out
asks
of nowhere.
what it's about. And to be fair, he's like, he knows her, but she doesn't know him because it's
Right.
2004. So he's
Right.
trying to connect with her, but he doesn't know how to approach it. So he
Yeah.
brought the book and she's like, oh, it's, this story about these two people who fell in love and then they got separated and reconnected at the end. And so they talk a little bit and then they end up slow dancing.
Yeah.
And they kiss. And then
Right.
oh, the guy she kissed was Alex and was not a good. I was not a fan of this whole
No.
situation.
No, I wasn't either. First of all, I wrote down, I would never offer to dance with a stranger. I literally can't imagine because he was asking her about the song, whatever, and she was basically like, I can dance, and
Yeah.
offers to dance with him, and they start slow dancing in this way that's very intimate
Yeah.
with a complete stranger. And I like to think, okay, they just clearly have this deep connection
Yeah.
and feel something in each other. But I'm sorry, I can't. There's too much.
Yeah.
Too much
And I'm
wrong
like,
with the whole thing.
was she drunk? Like, I don't
She had to
know.
have been. But I still don't understand. They get caught point blank by
Yeah.
Morgan and this girl who's in love with
rando,
Alex.
doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. And they kept said, and she tries to play. She's like, yeah, we were just talking about the lake house. So rent me.
Yeah.
What?
Dude. It was
Like, at least be like, yeah, you caught me making out with this dude and we're in a relationship. Let's talk about it.
right, Mobby. Party's over.
Sorry?
No, it just
I know of people who've had marriages broken up over that exact situation, and you are going to just be like, it was
Whatever.
nothing.
She genuinely was just not in a good place that whole day, that whole night, and there's no discussion. I don't think there was any discussion as to why, other than maybe she was tired from work. But
Yeah.
Before when we saw her and Morgan, they seemed very in love at the train station, and then here she's just very
Definitely not into it.
Yeah. And I will just say the original does a lot of this better.
I believe it.
So
I believe it. There is a lot wrong with that storyline that I really struggle with as an adult, especially. I think maybe as a kid when I was in middle school and I saw this, I was like, oh, whatever.
oh, they met each other. It's so cute. Look at that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's you want them to be together, but it's just the circumstance. It just was really icky. And I don't like that they did that. But yeah. Also, the original is different enough that you can enjoy it and watch it without feeling like you're gonna know everything that happens. So
Okay.
pointing that out for everyone. So yeah, they get caught. It's just really dumb.
Yep.
And so Alex never is able to tell Kate about the letters, which I don't know how you would bring that up. It's like, oh, by the way, we've been exchanging letters. I'm from, you're from the future. I would kick this man out. I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
But you need to leave.
Right.
So Alex's shitty, narcissistic father, who is a well-respected architect named Simon Weiler.
This is one of the points in time when Travis walked by when I was watching, and the dad is just talking about himself in third person the entire time. And then Alex's character was like, why are you talking in the third person? And Travis was like, I was just about to say that.
This man is the worst. And I don't understand why Alex is still trying to have a relationship with him.
That was another confusing thing because he talks about how he that there's been something that happened 4 years earlier that caused them to have some sort of break, a rift, and he didn't talk to the dad for years. And then he comes back and he's like, let's be friends again.
Yeah, it just wasn't really done well. I don't know if he just, because the dad's getting older, he wants to try and fix this relationship. But anyway, the dad ends up in the hospital. He has a heart attack. He's fine for a bit. So Alex also has a brother, by the way.
Yep.
He's a character.
Yes, but here's the important thing. And Travis, I have to say this about Travis. His facial recognition is out of control. It is AI level. I swear, I cannot understand how this man looks at someone's face for 30 seconds and immediately knows everything they've ever been in. We're watching, and the scene with the brother comes up, and he's like, oh, that's the guy from The Bear. What do you mean that's the guy from The Bear? He's like, that's the guy, Ricky from The Bear. And I was like, oh my God, it's Ricky from The Bear. And we were like, he's such a baby. He has a little baby face.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I always been impressed when people can just spot. Because the best I can do is like, they're familiar.
That's why I would never go up to someone on the street and be like, oh, are you Henry Cavill? Because no matter how many times I talk about how attractive I find Henry Cavill, I wouldn't know that man on the street from another man who just happens to look like Henry Cavill. I'd probably be like, has anyone told you look like Superman?
Wow, you look just like Henry Cavill. It's crazy. Has anyone told you that? I would embarrass myself for sure. So I would just not. I'd be like, wow, I saw someone who looked just like this actor. Crazy. And then find out later it was the actor. But I also wouldn't want to go up to someone and be like, oh, I'm such a big fan. Can I get a photo?
No, because then you're just a noob like the other people. I want to be one of the cool ones. They're going to look at me on the side of the street and be like,
they want a photo with me.
Yeah.
Wow, that girl is so mysterious. I must have a photo.
Wait, does she not know who I am? It's like every fanfic from... Yes, it is exactly like one.
Featuring One Direction, Harry Styles.
Yes.
Wow, she doesn't know I'm a celebrity. She doesn't treat me like everyone else. I must have her.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, that's us. We are not like us.
No, we are not.
So anyway, the dad died. Before that, he was writing a memoir about his life because he was so fucking important. And he actually built the house, the lake house. So he built that. They all lived in it when they were young. I don't know if Alex was born or Alex's brother was born yet, but Alex was
8. And his brother wasn't born.
And their mom was also with them. And he talked about how great his mom was and how she was there for them, raising them until she just couldn't handle the dad anymore because he was just becoming a piece of shit. And she leaves. And then she ends up dying, I think, a few years later or something. And they go to the funeral, except the dad doesn't go. And Alex asks his dad why. And his dad said, she was dead to me the second she walked out the door. And I would have never talked to my dad again. So
I know.
That is so brutal. Like, how dare you? How dare you say that?
Right.
So that whole subplot, I was like, no, couldn't be me. I would not give a shit about this man. Rotten hell, motherfucker. I'd break that lake house.
Just start throwing stones at it. It'll fall apart in a second.
Like the tree on fire. Take the rest of it out. So Alex is telling Kate about this, obviously through letters, talking about his dad, and she ends up finding the memoir that was published, by 2006, and she sends it through the mailbox to Alex, saying that, it's not published for you yet, but I hope this brings you comfort.
Yeah.
And when he's looking at it, the dad included a photo of him at the lake house, and he's like crying. I would have been like, fuck this dude. I don't.
Meanwhile, I did get teared up. I was like, oh. Keanu's crying.
I know, I do. Keanu, I feel that, but I just was so, and it's complicated, I know, and I'm sure Alex really just wanted to try and have that bond with his dad, maybe and it seemed like the dad was just a very complicated person, but I also think he's definitely narcissistic and kind of a piece of shit.
They did not spend very much time building that relationship up and our understanding of it. He was in 3 scenes, I think. So.
Yeah. So I don't know. At best, he just really bad at sharing his emotions and all that stuff, but he cared about them. But his whole thing saying that about the mom for me is like, that's too much. That woman raised your kids while you were out having fun, making buildings, So
I don't think that sentence has ever been said before. I'm taking care of your kids while you're out having fun making buildings. Maybe that's what like the wife of a Lego creator has said, but
you're just out here building spaceships with your Legos and I'm raising your children. I'm just happy Brett's not a Lego person.
My little sister does some Legos, but the cute kind of wall art ones and the flower ones. So that's fun.
I think there's some fun ones, but I don't know how people get super addicted to them. you know, and they're so
it's like a
expensive.
puzzle. It's like a 3D
Yes.
puzzle.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
think. And so I think it's cool. I can see how it would be. It's very expensive. We were looking, and some freaking, what was it? Lord of the Rings one was over.
Yeah.
I think it was $600 for that scene.
God.
Oh
Ugh.
my God, that's
And it's cool,
right.
but some of them are not aesthetically pleasing.
Yes, correct.
So I'm like,
Correct. And
I love the
still-
flower ones. Though. I think the flower ones are very cute.
The
so.
flower ones are cool and a little bit quirky, and that's
Yeah.
fun. I do feel like I wouldn't want my house covered in Lego art because it just looks like Legos.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, cool.
It's Legos. It's like framing a puzzle you glue together. It's nice, but you can still see that it's a puzzle.
Everyone, I'm so sorry if you
People are like, someone's sitting in a room building Legos with the puzzles on the wall. Like, fuck,
he's just like crying. I gave a talk because like I used to make Bionicles, put together Bionicles back in the day, so
because it was fun. It is
Yeah.
fun. It is fun, and we're not yucking anyone's yum. We crochet.
you're right. Yeah, it's that one needs to be made fun of. It's fun.
Yeah, we're old ladies, like 80-year-olds in a 30-year-old body.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay, back to
We are off the rails today.
we are hyper. So this gesture of Kate sending the book to Alex convinces him that they should try and meet. He really wants to meet her. So he ends up making a reservation at El Mar, which is a restaurant in this movie. And so when I saw the title of the original, I'm like, oh, I guess the restaurant's really important to the story. But no, it's because the lake house is called El Mar.
So they're doing a little homage.
Yes. So he makes a reservation there for 2 years in the future.
Mhm.
So he has to wait 2 years to meet her. And for her, it's just the next day. So that was tripping me up. I'm like,
I know.
I feel like my brain was sparking. I'm like, wait, okay. What if
I,
they
like,
sent her
couldn't-
mail within the 2 years? You know, if he's
Yes.
waiting. I
Yes,
try not to
Yes.
think too much about that.
I
But
know. You can't. The minute you start trying to puzzle together time travel, everything falls apart. So
So next day, Kate arrives. She's all dressed up. She looks really hot. And
Yeah.
Alex doesn't show up. And I was like,
Yeah.
ah.
okay,
brain was
so
already-
did you catch on to anything up to that point?
I will tell you, I had a thought at the start. When the event, I was like,
Yeah.
hope that's
Yes.
not what I think it is.
Yeah.
And then at this scene, I was like, it seems like it might be, and it's upsetting me. And I got more upset towards the end. I'm like, no, it's not. Please.
Yeah.
We'll get to what that means. But
Okay.
I was picking up the vibes, and I was not liking it.
Okay.
So he doesn't show up, and that makes Kate upset. I'd be very upset too if
Oh yeah.
I got stood up. And this is actually my deleted scene, her getting stood
Yeah.
up. I was
Yeah.
gonna choose the kiss scene, but I was like, I don't know.
The kiss scene was a lot, dude.
I know.
The kiss scene was a lot. I was like,
I
they're
don't know why I
smushing
did
their
that one.
faces. Yeah, it's
But it's fine.
I get it.
So Kate kind of ends their relationship, tells him, to not write to her anymore. She's not gonna write to him. And she just settles for Morgan because he comes back again. She's like, well, this is
And
it, I
honestly,
guess.
Couldn't be me.
No,
I
I'd
would
rather
not-
be single. Why are you
No.
settling for this man?
No. And there's a little hints to it. She watches this movie a couple times throughout where she makes a comment about, settling for
Yeah.
the best thing, or what if something's better.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's just this thing that's weird that she would be like, he's comfortable, so I'm going to stick with that.
The way her character was done, I feel like she wouldn't settle for that,
Yeah.
She comes off very different, and
Yeah.
it just felt very conflicting. The writing and how I feel like I picture her character just doesn't match up. But
I agree.
I don't think I would have dropped Alex that quickly.
No, I wouldn't
I would
have.
been thinking negative things. Something happened.
Yes.
We're gonna figure this out.
Yes, I would have been like, let's problem solve this. Also, the fact that she not once looked, it's 2006. There's some ways to look up people. I would have looked them up. Been like,
know.
where this,
How was
I
that not the
go.
first thing? I would have been like, oh, I'll look it up. So
get up
and then-
yellow pages.
So we'll
Yeah, dude.
talk about that whole
Okay,
situation.
okay,
I'm
okay.
writing it down so I don't forget.
Okay.
So things are moving along, and Alex places all their letters in a box in the attic, which
To
is
see he's writing her notebook style every
Yeah.
day, whatever, filling up a mailbox, and she has no curiosity and doesn't come and check.
Nope. So rude of her. So this is the box that she talks about that she found upstairs, which I was like, you never once was curious. What was in this
Girl,
box? Can you
The way I
imagine?
would have, the way I would have.
Imagine you open that box and find letters that you wrote.
Oh,
I would've-
that would be the start of a horror movie.
Yes, I was like, I would have to go to a ward. I would be losing my shit out in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, what is happening here?
Because I would have opened that box.
Oh yeah, I would have.
There's
Like,
no way I would have been like, oh, this random box full of. I'll just leave it.
guess I'll leave it. No, I'm opening that box, and I would have freaked myself out, and it would have been really bad. So yeah, it would have been a completely different.
Yeah, completely different movie. It would have started The Uninvited, and then
Yes, it would have gone south really bad. So it's now 2006 for Alex, and it's Valentine's Day, and he recalls Kate mentioning Daily Plaza on Valentine's Day. And so he hurries back to Lake House to grab the letters because he's going to make that next attempt to meet with her. So meanwhile, Kate and Morgan meet with Henry, who's Alex's brother. This is 2 years ahead. So it's
in 2008. Yeah.
So they meet with him because they bought this house and they need renovations done. And so as they're talking, Kate notices a drawing of the lake house in Henry's office. Henry says that the artist was his brother, Alex, and Kate asks, how could she contact him and reach out to him? And he says that, he died this day, actually, 2 years ago. And Kate is like, oh my God, the man who was hit by the bus at the beginning.
It was Alex!
And I'm like, girl, you didn't even recognize anything about this man.
I know.
He literally kissed him at her party 2 years ago.
I know.
I would have at least been like, why does this guy look familiar, or the name? Something has to pop out.
Right. I feel like if I was that upset, I would have, I don't know, wouldn't the name on the death certificate, I don't know. I don't know.
Bell? I don't.
But who am I?
I guess maybe, maybe he was all fucked up. In the movie, he's face down. And the way it was framed, it was a little interesting. So that's for me. I immediately was like, hope that wasn't Keanu. And I'm like, no, that's not what's in it. It was just a thing in the movie. And then at the restaurant scene, I'm like, oh, maybe that was Keanu. He got hit? Oh, I don't like that. And so then when he notices Daily Plaza, February 14th, and he starts to get the letters, I'm like, no. Yeah. So now Kate realizes that. She runs back to the lake house to write a letter and say, don't show up to the plaza, please, and to wait for her for 2 years. And she puts in the mailbox, and she's waiting for the flag to go down. She's praying, and she's crying. And I was like, oh my God. I'm freaking out too. I'm like,
yes.
Please.
I remember the first time watching it, I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, oh my God, does he catch it?
It was very tense. I was really upset. And so then she sees the flag go down, and I was like, oh. And then a few seconds later, the truck shows up. I was like, oh. And so they finally officially meet, knowing each other, and he kisses her really passionately. And I was like, oh, wow. All that pent-up tension.
Ooh la la.
I get it, Keanu. And they walk together to the lake house. So everything is A-okay.
Yes.
He changed the past.
I guess so.
So he
saved his life, apparently.
Because he ended up getting letters and running to the plaza. He saw her, but he didn't cross because
he cross the road.
He got her new letter and decided to wait. So that was good. And that is the movie. That is the Lake House. So
it's the lake house.
Yeah, I am so happy he didn't die, because I was really upset. I was thinking the whole time, how is this movie going to end? And I didn't even think about it. I'm like, wait, if it's 2 years, I guess they could wait and unite. I thought it was going to be some really annoying trick of magic, but I was like, wait, no, they could meet. But then the whole bus thing, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe
It was
not.
a good twist. It was a good twist. And I really, watching it the first time, it's like, oh my God, is he gonna live or is this gonna end really sad? Is this gonna be a sad ending? You don't know.
Yeah.
And it's such a relief when he's alive and they can be together. But she's fucking making out with this guy when Morgan, she still hasn't broken up with him.
You're right. You're right. She left him at the Arkansas.
She was like, later.
Not
You never.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. And then she's gonna have to give him a call and be like,
Yeah. So it's over. Sorry.
I know we just bought a shit house, but you can have it.
Right. No, but she wouldn't. She'd probably be like, I picked out the house and his brother's designing it. So
Now I'm getting it for free because I'm dating his brother. Sorry, Morgan, you lose. I do feel bad for Morgan.
Yeah.
Really,
I know.
He was a typical guy,
He was
but
just a guy. He didn't do anything wrong.
he was boring.
Yeah, he was boring. And it's like, okay, since when is that a sin,
Yeah, he's just a businessy guy. Who, is probably a little misogynistic, but
Yeah, probably.
some women are into that, right?
Yeah, they are. They
That
are.
hate
definitely.
themselves.
Yeah, there's a peg for every hole. I don't know what the saying is. That was horrible. Just delete that from your memory.
The peg for every hole. That's right.
Oh God.
So anyway, yeah. So I did have fun with this one. I liked the story. I think there were moments that I didn't really like the plot twist thing. Not the plot twist, like the oh God, my brain.
Yeah, I'm waiting because I'm like, I don't know why you would hate the plot twist.
No, I don't know what I was like literally gonna say. I like the plot twist idea, and I think the first half of the movie for me was pretty boring, to be honest.
I agree with you. I was having a hard time focusing on it.
Yeah, and it got more exciting halfway towards the end. I was like, oh, this is more interesting. And so I think that's what the original does well. I think with like Korean shows and movies with romance, I think they do a really good job of like the cute, sweet, where you just like, oh, butterflies type of romance.
I love that. Yeah.
And so it's all the different scenes. It's just like really cute. And I was really just rooting for them. And this movie, I liked them, but I don't know. Keanu's weird for me. I really love Keanu Reeves. I think he's so handsome, but he's such a weird actor. He just looks like he's like in a different place all the time.
Dude, there's something like otherworldly about him. I don't know what it is, but I did write down, there was this one scene that literally I was laughing because it's the scene when she tells him that it's gonna snow and to watch out. Yes. And then it like zooms in dramatically on his face as he sees that it's snowing and he's like, like this shocked face. And then all of a sudden he sneezes and it's like
it was such a bad
vision.
Yeah, it was such a bad sneeze. That's what I thought too. I was like, oh my God, he's gasping because he's shocked. And it was like, no, it was sneezing really bad.
Horrible sneeze. I was dead. I couldn't handle it. It was the most ridiculous of all the scenes, honestly, because it was so goofy.
Yeah, it was goofy. And like I said, I do love him, but he's just in another world. He's stuck in the Matrix still. He's out. And Sandra, she's amazing. I think she really was great in every movie. And I was not feeling the haircut at first, but as I went through, I was like, okay, it's fine. She's still pretty.
Yeah, she had longer hair and she made fun of it, saying it was a bad hair year. And I was like, girl, you're going through the bad hair year.
Yeah, you're in the bad hair year.
It is not, because it's not like a cute pixie. It's that choppy pixie that was very in. Like,
and layered out with the intense side thing.
It was probably thought it was cute at the time.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure a lot of women were like, wow, I'm gonna get that haircut.
You know what else?
Sandra.
Yes, for sure. Do you know what else was distracting me? The fashion. Across the board again. It wasn't her fashion or whatever. Two things distracted me. Number one, Keanu Reeves' pants. They were like, it was bootleg pants, I guess. They were almost flared. Yeah. And I just kept looking at them like, what are you wearing?
But they were boot cut. He was like a construction.
Yeah, but it wasn't like
architect.
I feel like when you see boot cut, you see like it's like straight up and down, but there was like a little flare. I don't know what it was like a little.
Well, I know women's boot cut flares a little bit, right?
Yes,
I
yeah.
guess, man. I don't know. I guess I never
I don't
really
know.
thought about
The jeans that my dad wears, that's what I think of as boot wearing man jeans.
Yeah,
My dad
yeah.
wears boots all the time. He's like, he's a salt of the earth fella.
Yeah.
His pants go straight down. They don't
Yeah.
flare to make room for the boots.
I think those are straight jeans, though. I think that's
Yeah.
what they're called, just straight jeans.
I don't know. I guess I just have a big ick for bootleg then.
I've always had the ick for boots.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
you don't need the extra space.
No,
The
you
boots are
don't.
fine.
Yes, exactly. The boots will be okay.
Especially for men, because I assumed with the boot cut for women, it's because if you wear higher boots, the jeans aren't going
Yes.
to touch it. But
Yeah.
for men, they're not wearing higher boots.
No,
It's just-
no, it's ankle boots. They're fine. They're totally fine. And speaking of boots, the boots that the character who we did not discuss, Mono, wears,
yeah.
I was like,
No, that character, she was like in love with Keanu Reeves' character, and she was really trying. She was into him and was trying, and he just wasn't giving her anything. And I'm like, sweetie, you're too pretty to be
yes,
going after this
she's
man.
gorgeous. And it's like, he doesn't look twice at her.
No.
Like, it's beyond me. I
And
honestly, I don't get it.
Listen, the boots were ugly, but she threw her leg on the door, on the car
Right.
thing, and she's showing leg. And I'm like, if that did not pull this man, leave him. Get
It's
him
not
out
like
of
she's
here.
like, yeah, she's a little bit ditzy, but not in this obvious she's an
No.
idiot kind of way. She's just in a silly little like
fun ditzy.
fine.
Yeah.
And she was stunning. And the fact that he doesn't even think about her.
No. And
Twice.
I think he was definitely much older than her. She had to
Okay,
be much
yeah.
younger. I think there was like an age difference thing, and maybe he was just like, she's too young, like, which is fair.
Maybe.
He's just not interested in her, but she was, going after the older, and he was an architect, so money.
I know. Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Can't blame her.
But
Can't blame her.
hey, I'm sure she could pull many other
Yeah.
rich men in Chicago. So
For sure. No
we think her
problem.
talents on.
She should have been with Morgan. Honestly, I feel like that would have probably been. a
I feel
good
like they
thing.
had a little like.
Yeah, there was a spark there for
And
them.
I thought that was. I mean, maybe.
Yeah,
Morgan.
maybe
is
it
not
does.
single.
But yeah, poor Morgan.
I didn't
man.
think about that. That she
No.
just left him there, and he's
Yeah.
probably like, "Where is she? Where is
Yeah.
my beautiful future wife?" Wow,
Right.
kissing the same man over 3-4 years ago. What a piece of shit.
Brutal.
So those are all my main talking
Okay.
points. So if
Okay.
you have any other
I do.
facts? Okay.
So I have one more thing I can't handle, which is Keanu, when he first saw her at the train station, he said, quote, "You never told me how beautiful you are." Could you imagine writing a letter to someone and being like, just FYI,
By
I'm
the way?
super hot.
By the way, I'm definitely the hottest woman you will ever see in your life.
Yeah.
I would
Betty,
I would be curious as to what they look like. I'd be like, hey, like, what do you
Describe
look like?
yourself,
Yeah, describe
yeah.
yourself. And then I would have described myself,
I mean, I would be honest, but I wouldn't be like
triple D's, great eyebrows, great ass.
There you
What else you
go.
need to know?
Perfect. Yeah. done and done.
But yeah, like, why would you? By the way, I'm beautiful.
I'm really beautiful.
If
Like,
someone wrote that to me, I'd be like, you're not.
yes,
You're definitely not attractive.
can confirm there's something wrong. Please send a
Ugly.
picture to
Yeah.
confirm.
You know, they didn't even think about when she pulled up the photo of the snow.
I thought she was gonna send it.
Because then at that point, that would have been more proof that she's from the
Right.
time. For me, I would have been like, send proof. Like, what? Are you joking? How do I know
Well,
you're from 2004?
Exactly. And that brings up another inconsistency in the movie, which is that he is like, I'll find a way to send you the book Persuasion, which he had gathered. and he gets a book in the mailbox, and it's a gigantic book. It's his dad's book that she gave him.
Yes.
But he doesn't think, let me put this tiny little book in the mailbox. Instead, he finds out what apartment she's living in and goes there, I guess, in the early stages of construction and hides it under a floorboard for her to hopefully magically find one day.
With all her letters, all the letters in there
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Oh
forgot.
my
I
God.
think he wanted to bring it to her in person. It's
Yeah.
personable, but it's like,
Yeah.
okay, what
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense at all. So the original does better.
I believe you. I believe you. I believe you. I
It's-
will watch it.
I just like, it's crazy to me that directors will watch a movie and be like, this was so good, I can do it better. And I
Right.
really think they could do it better. And
Right.
I can't think of one American remake that's actually better than the original. I refuse to believe that actually exists.
I don't. Maybe, because it's an American remake of a not Korean film. The Office.
TV show. Maybe.
Be-
but British humor is
because-
different.
I was
Yeah.
literally just gonna say only because we have a different sense of humor
Yeah.
than they do in Britain, and they only went for 2 seasons.
I could feel that. Okay. I will
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah, I
I'll
think
agree with
it's
that.
just like really when they're doing remakes, they're like, I can make this to our sensibilities. This isn't quite what we would do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
and it's just
that doesn't mean it's
right.
better.
And it's just little things when I watch remakes versus original. I'm like, why would they change that?
right.
What? That's worse. That's
Yes,
horrible. It doesn't make sense. And it's always just something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like I said, I really I did enjoy this one. You know, it's really not
Good.
that bad. It's I think it's fun and interesting, even though it has a lot of issues. Like, it's a romance, you know.
Yeah.
It's supposed to just be sweet and happy, and so it's all good. It's all good. So my most memorable was the end when they
Yeah.
reunited. I was really happy for that.
Yeah.
The main character, I would smash either, even though
Yeah.
Kate's a cheater.
Yeah. It's
she's-
unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
She's Sandra Bullock, so
Yeah.
well, I didn't say no.
Yeah.
Side character, I put Morgan. I said pass. He's just not.
Yeah.
Not
Guy. He's getting the path on all lanes.
I know,
all fronts.
He just ain't for me.
Yeah.
Uh, Likeliness to fall in love, I said 10.
Okay.
You know, if I'm exchanging letters and love letters with someone, and
Yeah, you're really in
Practice.
deep and
Yeah, it's-
connecting.
I would definitely fall in love
Yeah.
pretty quickly. I said no to recommend to non.
Yeah, that's
romance.
fair. It's very romancy. It's very romancy.
Yeah, even if you're a big fan of Keanu, I don't think it's his best.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And I rated it a 3.8. So not quite 4, but
Oh, okay. All right. Amazing.
so I didn't hate. I truly didn't hate it. I really, by the end, like I said, it was quite boring at the start, but by the end I was pretty invested, and I was like, okay, I like the way this ended. I'm happy. This is making my
Yes. I agree. The beginning I found to be a little bit slow, a little boring. I ended up picking up my phone a couple times and scrolling Pinterest because I was like, I've seen it. It's not my week to review.
Yeah, I know
it
it happened.
Yeah, it's fine. But then, it's towards the end, it's like, okay, I'm engaged now. This
Yeah,
is
right.
more interesting. Even if I knew what was gonna happen, I was like, all right,
Right.
And I did have my big issue was her whole thing with Morgan. I
think their personal plots just weren't done that well. You know, for Alex and his dad, and then for Kate and Morgan, they just really weren't done well. If they were looked into more or written better, but it just fell flat for me. I didn't give a shit.
yeah, I know. I agree.
So what would you rate this? You
Right.
seem surprised of my rating. So would you rate it lower?
So Demi and I talked about we were gonna start asking each other what they would rate it. And I feel like every time I go in, I'm like, I would rate this a 5. And then I watch it and I'm like, ooh, lower. And so for me, I actually said 3.75.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's about the same.
Very close. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know why you went up to round it up, but whatever, you rounded up to 3.8.
I know it's between 3.7, 3.8, and I was like, you know what? I'll 3.8 it. It's
Okay, so you gave it 3 point. You liked it a little more than I did. But you also watched it for the first time, which I think probably if I had watched it for the first time, I would probably give it a higher rating, like a 4, because I would have been surprised by that ending.
Yeah, I think that's fair if you're like first watch versus
Yeah.
watching multiple times where you pick up more things. You're like,
Yes.
after watching the original, I'd probably rate this lower.
Yeah,
But
exactly. And I think that is a really big challenge for me, having reviewing these movies together. I'm looking at everything much more critically than I would if I was just having fun. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what happened to my fun, silly little movies? I am much less enjoying this experience because I'm like, what would Demi think of this? What would Demi think of this? You know about Demi.
So sorry. But, sometimes you got to open your eyes a bit more to these romances that
Yep, I know.
you throwing some crazy shit at you and you're like,
I gotta find better ones because we are doing much better with our social media and everything. And I realized that I have way more 4 hearts, excuse me.
yeah.
I have way more 4-heart horrors than I really thought I was going to.
A lot, yeah.
Shocked. I was shocked and upset. I was disappointed in myself.
But I think you had a lot more lower ones. For me, I
Yes.
really didn't have. They were like
You don't have any
2
1-star. You only had like 2 zeros.
Yeah, 2 zeros, and then it went from 3, 4, 5. So yeah,
yes. I was shook when I saw that, which is good. It means that I've been enjoying our podcast, obviously.
Yeah.
But I was like, and then I'm reading it, I'm like, Lost Boys couldn't have been that good. I couldn't have liked it that much. And then it was a 4.5 that I rated it. It wasn't even like I just said 4. I didn't just round it up to be nice. I gave it a 4.5.
The Lost Boys is that good. How dare you? Lost Boys deserves that rating. There's some where I'm like, you definitely rated too high, but I'll let you have it. But Lost Boys for me, I think is good. Yeah, it's cheesy, it's goofy, but it's fun. I think that's what's important. So
I agree. Yeah. I think if I was to I'm curious what my rating would be if I rewatched these movies for the second time, if I would be like, lower it down more. But
yeah, I'm sure we'll be more critical.
Aside from Pride and Prejudice, I'm unable to rewatch a movie and still love it anymore. And Emma too. So my
you said a lot of these you watched when you were like a teenager. So that definitely makes a difference when you're watching it as an adult.
Yeah. Although I will say that because I'm looking right now at the your rated romances, some of the ones that I'm surprised by some of these lower rated ones actually. Practical Magic, we don't have to talk about it.
Megan, watch it again. Watch it. You know what Halloween's coming up? Watch it again. Okay.
And the Hating Game. I can't believe the Hating Game got worse than Cinderella's story, dude. I can't believe that.
There were so many icky things about the Hating Game.
God.
Truly.
Rosalind, whatever you pronounce it, 3.5, you're trash.
I really like that one. It was fine. It was fine.
3.5. Anyway.
Better than 3.
You know what? I can rewatch movies and I can still love them.
Yeah, you like Rosalind. That's totally fine.
Yes.
It's
fine that I like it. Thank you.
It wasn't bad. It was just like, for me, like, I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
I am ashamed of giving 50 Shades of Grey 3.2. That definitely isn't 3.2.
I am like shocked that got so high from you. When you rated it that high, I was shook. That was shocking to me.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What was going on with me?
And Family Man getting 3 is,
Christmas movie. Okay, I'm biased. I'm biased for Christmas movies. So I gave it a 3. It should have been lower. It definitely should have been like a 1 for me, but
but you know what? I'm okay with it.
It's fine. Also, Kate and Leopold, I'm surprised I gave 3.5. I thought I gave lower for Kate.
Yeah,
and Leopold.
that's not.
Guess not. But I will say all the 4s are good, are solid. Everything under 4, it's like, well, you might or might not like it.
Yes, yeah. But the 4s, I would say, are there any of the 4s for horrors where you were like, that's not a 4?
Like it should be lower.
Yeah.
Let's see. I do like all these so far. Van Helsing probably should not be a 4.
Yeah, I feel like when I was even watching it, I was like, that could probably be in the 3s. But it was also just like, so
it's fine. I think The Village was probably rated a bit too high.
Okay, yeah. Village I did give high, but I liked it.
I love Gremlins. Well, I don't know if it's a 4.
Yeah.
It's a 5 in my heart.
Yeah.
If I'm thinking more critically, I think all the rest are pretty solid, though.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. It's just funny how you rate these. It feels like the more chaotic ones are like the lower end.
Yes. Yes.
Hell House, I'm surprised it almost got a 4 for me, honestly. But it's good. I think it's good. It's just very spooky, so.
I think some of the ones that they just surprised me, they end up going up higher. And that's where I think The Village surprised me. So I was like, all right.
Yeah, if there's a fun twist or something that's like, oh, didn't expect that, I do think gets a higher rating because it's just fun. But once you know and you rewatch it, it's like, well, it's not as fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not watching The Lake House again. I was like, now that I know he's alive,
Yeah, it's not as
whatever.
exciting, so it's kind of lame.
Yeah.
But God, we've been talking for a while.
Yes, we have, and I mean, we just did a whole little look through our old reviews. We probably lost everybody. I don't know who would want to stay on for that.
We didn't need to do that, but
Nope.
it's fine.
It was fun for me.
Yeah, fun for us. So I have your next movie.
Great.
It is Beetlejuice, the original, because the new movie came out. I was feeling inspired. I was gonna wait till closer to Halloween, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw it early.
I'm excited. I actually have been wanting to watch it. And I feel like now that I am in this phase of my life where I'm trying to catch up on cultural stuff, I'm like, I can't watch any horror unless Demi tells me to watch it now.
Yeah, I have to get it recommended to me. That's what I'm trying. I'm like, what are culturally significant horror movies I can give you to watch?
Yeah.
So, I definitely have a list, and yeah, some of them are definitely a little harder to watch, I think, than others. Like The Exorcist. I don't know if I'd give that one to you, but
maybe if you hold my hand, maybe if we watch it together.
I don't think it's super scary. It's just it's got a lot of really dark themes in it, and it's like, I'll rewatch it and I'll see.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, Beetlejuice. My snapshot is after Barbara and Adam Maitland, played by Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin. Okay.
And he's fine in this movie for no fucking reason.
He used to give me the ick so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for whatever reason, but he's fine in this one.
Dude, girl.
All right.
You'll see.
Right.
Anyway,
I'm ready.
They both of them, after they die in a car accident, they find themselves stuck haunting their home and also figuring out how to deal with being dead. When the Dietzes, played by Catherine O'Hara and Jeffrey Jones, who's canceled.
Oh, I love Catherine O'Hara.
Catherine O'Hara is great.
Yes, she's great. It's just great. She's a star.
Love her.
Yeah. I don't know who the canceled guy is, and we can talk about it next week.
Don't worry about him. But when them and their teenage daughter Lydia, who's Winona Ryder, buy the home, the Maitlands attempt to scare them off without any success. They end up reaching out to Beetlejuice, played by Michael Keaton, who offers to help them in his own ways. And let's just say that the Maitlands get a bit more than what they asked for.
Oh,
it's a snapshot. So
all right,
it is. It's a fun movie. It's definitely a movie watching now. I'm like, I should not have watched this when I was young, but it is a PG movie, and it approached.
I mean, PG was different back then, so
it was. When you watch this, it's gonna be like, wow, okay, it was shown to children, but I hope you like it. I think you'll enjoy it. It's fun.
Excited for it,
and you can watch it on Fubo and Max.
God, Fubo,
good old Fubo.
Fubo burned me once. Anyway.
Damn you, Fubo.
If you want to watch, listen, kind of both, we are going to record me watching the trailer, and that's going to go on our socials, Insta and TikTok. So that's just a new fun little thing we're doing, you know. So cute and fun. And so you can go on our socials for that. We are on @HowDoYouWatchThis on Instagram. Copper is agreeing with me in the background. She's very excited. We're on TikTok @HowDoYouWatchThis, or you can email us @HowDoYouWatchThis@gmail.com. If you like the show, support us by giving us a review or recommending to a friend. And thanks for listening.
Thanks. We'll see you next week.